Hey everybody, welcome to On the Painting Table. This is my weekly show where I show you what I've been working on, what I got done, what I didn't get done. I make apologies for that stuff, and I usually completely forget what I did the previous week and move on to something new. So this week you're going to see some stuff I got finished. I finished some terrain that's been sitting kind of semi-complete next to my bench at the co-op for a while. And I also finished some more stuff for Frostheim, which is the joke name I'm giving the warbands and miniatures that I'm using in both Frostgrave and Mordheim. So let's take a look at that. I built some models too, and I unpainted some models. You'll see what I mean by that in a second, but jumping in, let's take a look at what I got done. So if I was judging myself purely based on the displacement factor of what I painted this week, I'd be pretty happy with myself, because one of the things I got done is these stacks of Micro Art Studio hard form sort of crates. Now, if you haven't seen these before, this is hard expanding foam, so it's basically blown into a mold. It expands, so it's all bubbly, you can see on the inside. It actually goes flush on the outside. When it comes out, it's a solid, light piece. They usually bandsaw off the big dome that bubbles out. So think of it's cast actually upside down like this. It would bubble out, and then they would just saw it off flat. Now, I found these at a gaming store in Burlington for substantially less than they currently go for on the market. And they had a bag of each. There's a 4 set of small ones, a 3 set of medium ones, and you get the large one as a single thing. And I'm just going to say that I paid about half of what current market value is for these. So I just said, okay, and I grabbed all of them. They can be used for 40K. They can be used for infinity. In fact, our sort of like Fort Apache sort of outdoor Ariadne table can definitely use more blocking terrain. So this is going to be perfect for that. And then I airbrushed them, and they sat next to my desk for, I don't know, 2 weeks without me finishing them. So I did some washes. I just washed in some rust effects here, and then most of the finishing was just dry brush and adding some grass. I tried to add some neutral colored grasses, some woodland scenic stuff, just to give it a neutral color so it looked good on different types of mats. And even in a fairly urban environment, you can't really get away without the grass, because it's just, there's dirt everywhere. It's just, there's dirt heaped in between everything to basically fill in the crate so they could use the expanding foam, and it looks like it's outdoor. Like, it's never going to look completely right in the city, so yeah, I use neutral grass to try and make it look as good as possible, but there they are. They're done. They've got some nice rust detail, some sort of dust marking and stuff on them, and they're pretty cool. They basically match the Micro Art crates you buy individually, so this looks just like the crates that I have on my table, but in huge piles as opposed to one-on-one. So then I also finished some cultists. These are my Frostheim cultists. So they'll be cultists in Thaw the Lich Lord, and they'll also be an evil sorcerer, and then they will be Cult of the Possessed Warband for Mordheim. These are old Cult of the Possessed. Doc Raven sent me these. Timo, thanks so much, dude. I had a blast painting these old miniatures. They hold up super well, and I think when I do get the Thaw the Lich Lord plastics, they will blend in quite nicely. There was a miscast. This guy was missing his spear end, so that's actually a halberd end off of a soldier box guy from the Frostgrave soldiers. And then back here, I needed a cart miniature for a scenario we're doing in the future, and I didn't have one, but I did have an old siege mantlet from Warhammer Siege. So I basically just took off part of it and laid it flat, and now I have a cart. So hooray, there's a cart for a scenario I'm doing later on for Frostgrave, Frostheim. And then over here, I've got some conversions. So these are actually partly Frostgrave soldiers and partly Mordheim plastic mercenary boxes from Warhammer Fantasy, and I did them up for my Mordheim, the other Perry miniatures that Timo sent me, which is the Mordheim sort of like metal guys. I wanted a couple of just like dudes with swords and daggers, and conveniently they're going to make great treasure hunters in Frostgrave. So I got treasure hunter and I actually added them. There's Frostgrave bits, so there's like a backpack from Frostgrave, some climbing rope there on the back. All the arms are from Frostgrave, so like that dagger arm and that sword arm, and they're awesomely compatible with the plastic kit from Fantasy. So everything basically went together. That pouch is again from Frostgrave. That thing of rope on his back is from Frostgrave, and it just means that like it's a nice mix and match, and they'll blend really well in either thing. So they're just prime black, and then I just did like a zenithal highlight of white, because when I do these guys, I tend to do them from a single tone and then just wash everything down. And then I also built a pit fighter and a halfling cook, because I didn't have any really dudes painted at all for hired swords for Mordheim, and I just wanted to have some, and they're just freaking great models. So I'm going to reward myself for getting through all of this terrain and these guys with painting these 4 dudes at some point. And then I unpainted some stuff. So I have my huge dwarf army for Lord of the Rings you've seen. This was my Isengard army, but I needed the carrying case at some point, and I didn't think I was going to play with it again. So literally they spent like the last 5 years in a Ziploc bag. And let's just say that wasn't kind to the paint jobs. So they sat in some the extra strength purple simple green for about a week and a half, and then I just bristle brushed off all their paint, and they're ready to be painted again. So I'll probably paint up a 500 point list for sometime in November with them. They're Urkheim, and they paint super fast. But I've got a whole bunch. I got 9 Berserkers. I think I got 8 or 9 crossbows. Uglook Vrasku. I got Grandworm Tongue. I got Saruman. I got a command set, so I've got a captain and a banner. And then these are broken sword guys. They didn't survive so well, but I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with them later. And then I think I've got 11 sword and shield dudes, and then 2 pikemen. All the other pikemen were just ruined. So I only have 2 pikes. I should have 8. And that's it. So there's the to some extent of my current Isengard collection. I should probably buy some wargs. I should probably buy some other stuff too, like orcs and feral Urkai and stuff. But this is all unpainted, and I'll start here and see where I want to go. But that's it. I unpainted some stuff as well. So even though I'm forward this many miniatures, I'm backwards that many miniatures, which is a little bit discouraging. But that being said, there's my on the paint table for this week. I got some scenery done, got some cultists and a cart done, and built some more dudes and unpainted some guys. So there you go, my on the paint table for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed taking a look at the cultists up close, some scenery I did, and you'll see more updates in the future. I'm not really sure what's next on the painting table. I do have a big project planned, but it's kind of top secret. I'm not telling too much about it right now. I did get some base coats on some more. Actually, I have a little bit more of this expanded foam train. There's a set of 4 containers. They're not super exciting though, and they're actually drying right now, so I didn't put them on the table to show you because they're just like airbrushed 2 different tones. And I still have to dry brush them and do all the weathering on them, so I was like, that's just like, I feel like I'm padding out what I got done by putting those on the table, so I didn't bother. Yeah, and I've got other things planned. So I've got a cool project for the next couple weeks. It's gonna take a bunch of my time. So you might not see me post as many things, but what I'll probably do to pace myself is I'll paint 10 guys for that project. I'll paint something in between. I'll paint 10 guys for that project. I'll paint something in between, and that'll help me to like even myself out and not go crazy. And yeah, so hopefully you guys are gonna see more stuff on my painting table next week. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you for another update in the week to come. That'll be the last week of October. This is the 3rd to last week of October, so that'll be the last week of October. So we'll see you for that. Until then, I'm Ash. Happy wargaming.